Hey everybody, happy to be here. I'm Brendon Beebe. I've been with foreUP for the last almost 6 years. I'm the Chief Technical Officer here, and I've led the Engineering and Development Department for the last 6 years. We've built up one of the best products in the industry, and I'm excited to speak today on the merits and the biggest mistakes I've seen in the industry in regards to aggregate booking. I've never ran a course, I've never directly worked inside a course, but I've had the experience of working with hundreds of different courses, talked with many people in the industry, and I just want to speak on what I've seen, the biggest mistakes I've seen within the industry. So today, here's a summary of what I'm going to be going over. I'm going to try and share stories and experiences I've seen more than anything, but the most common one that I've seen courses make is the lack of data collection. What you'll notice when GolfNow, for example, books a tee time on your tee sheet is the golfer comes over as 123, some random number at noreply@golfnow.com. If you're lucky, we'll put a first name and last name in there, and they'll give you a phone number. But past that, they don't give you anything. And the key part to remember here is that golfer, when he comes to your course, is GolfNow's customer. He isn't your customer. Yes, he's paying you, but ultimately, your goal for that customer when he gets to your pro shop is to convert them into a recurring customer for your golf course. There's a few things I want to go over. Is that email they send you? It's just a dead email. If you send information there, it doesn't go anywhere. So that means any marketing campaigns you do, any social media campaigns you run, any reminder emails you send, any thank you emails you send out afterwards asking for reviews or feedback, those aren't going anywhere. So you can't use email to convert that person into a recurring customer. And ultimately, if you're not collecting data at the pro shop, at the front desk, it's going to be near impossible for you to convert that customer into a recurring customer at your course. So the big question I've seen is how do you do that, right? How do you get that high school student that's just working there because he likes golf to collect somebody's personal information? And that includes birthday. How do you get them to collect your birthday so you can send out birthday emails? How do you get them to collect their email or their phone number or the address? So I've been working with Mark Farrell recently, who he used to run a course, and he did this really excellent program where he used a report similar to this one. This one's found in foreUP Analytics, so you can go ahead and spin it up right now. But it will show you which employees are collecting the most information. And you can use a report like this to create some sort of competition or offer specific prizes for those who collect the most information. But we've seen huge success with this. Here's an example from one of the courses where they've collected near 100% birthdays, near 100% emails, and you can use all this data later for your marketing campaigns, for your social media campaigns, and help convert that GolfNow customer into a recurring customer for yourself. The next one, this is a massive mistake I've seen. Not many people do this, but they replace their own private portal with the GolfNow portal. I don't know why you would ever do this, but it has major downfalls in that GolfNow is becoming that place, that user hub. People come to your website and they're registering on GolfNow. They're coming to your website and they see hot deals that GolfNow benefits from. There's no reason to do this other than pure convenience and just kind of laziness on the operator side of things. And I've seen this happen more times than you'd actually probably believe. But ultimately, what it leads down to is if you ever want to leave GolfNow, you can't because you gave them your website. And so this is probably the last thing you should ever do. Next is zero pricing restrictions. I remember posting LinkedIn. I did a study where we looked at data of how people are using GolfNow and the effect it had on their average daily revenue and how it dropped over time. And immediately I was contacted by one of the third-party aggregators, kind of an angry email, and he essentially blamed it on the operators. If it was affecting ADR, it was because the operator wasn't using the third-party aggregator effectively. And this is the number one thing, is the best pricing has to be on your website. If it's not on your website, what you're doing is you're telling customers they should go look elsewhere if they want to book at your course. And so with foreUP, actually GolfNow, we provide them the pricing through our tee sheet and through our interface and our API, but GolfNow has chosen not to use that data. They just set their own prices. and you have to go to GolfNow to set those yourself. If you want, you can actually go through Supreme or Quick 18. Those are other third parties who will pull the price that's set on foreUP and pass that up to GolfNow correctly. And so that lets you do cool things where you can actually create a booking class or a reservation group or a specific price class just for GolfNow, increase the price by 5 to 10%, and make sure the best price at your course is never found on these third parties. The other piece of this that I've seen people not take advantage of is they don't put specials on their own website. What ends up happening is golfers looking for online specials for special deals, they're going to GolfNow to find those specials because you're not offering any. And so what I've seen work is that golf courses will set special online specials, or they'll set special discounts on their kind of twilight rates, those times that are less occupied or less utilized. Yeah, and the other note I have here is just, if you are integrated with GolfNow right now, I would highly recommend switching that to a Supreme or Quick 18 integration. It's usually the deal is the exact same, a little better, but the pricing is going to be passed up correctly. You never have to risk GolfNow offering a better price. The next piece here is multi-year contracts, and this is a smaller problem. But I think it comes out of almost laziness, and it doesn't even have to be a multi-year contract. It can be just an automatic renewal. Every single year you're on GolfNow, and you're never evaluating how good that ROI is. Is it worth the amount of trade I'm giving them? Are you asking every year, how much trade did you give? How much was that worth, and how much did they bring to you? And are you looking at how that affected your average daily revenue? Are you looking at how that affected your average round? Are you looking at how many rounds overall you're doing? And are you comparing that to the industry? It's really easy for GolfNow this year to say, hey, look, we brought you 14% more rounds this year, without also telling you, hey, the entire industry brought in 14% extra rounds. And so that's one of the biggest mistakes, is people aren't evaluating this year after year after year to make sure, is this worth it? Am I doing this the right way? This next error is not experimenting. GolfNow, TeeOff.com, these are all sales channels where you should be evaluating, I'm putting in this much effort, what am I getting back? And they're not experimenting, should I be pushing over my morning rates? Should I be pushing over my afternoon rates? Should I be pushing over my twilight rates? Maybe should just push over weekday rates. Maybe I should do more expensive pricing over here. Can I up my pricing on third parties? Can I convert GolfNow customers by offering loyalty plans when they come to the pro shop? And so this is a big problem, is, am I experimenting? Am I testing how to use these more effectively? And how can I get the most ROI for the effort I put into them? Something I wanted to point out here is, oftentimes operators get a report from GolfNow that says, hey, we brought you X number of rounds, we brought you X number of revenue. Yes, we cost a lot. Yes, we cost, $50,000 in trade, but hey, we brought you this much extra that you wouldn't have got otherwise. And it's kind of it's a lie in a way, because what you should be looking at is, how would I have done if I wasn't using GolfNow? And can you compare what you did this year to maybe 2019? And how does your revenue growth look like? Are you selling more? Are these customers who are spending more at the pro shop? Are these customers who are buying food at the restaurant? There was a story a couple years ago where they turned off GolfNow. Their rounds dropped significantly, like 10%. But the type of customers that came over were actually spending far more money. And their average revenue, their revenue per month went probably up 10 to 15%. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was enough where they actually kept GolfNow off because they didn't see that return. And I'm not saying you have to go turn off GolfNow, but I think there are ways where you can use it effectively. And I've seen it done, but it has to be an active thing. This isn't a passive, turn the switch on and let's wait for the money to roll in. This is a big one, and this has become a much bigger thing recently, are the local distributors. GolfNow is huge. They have a big global reach, and they're great for those destination courses. But for example, here in Utah, nobody uses GolfNow. Nobody even knows who GolfNow is. And that may be similar in your area, is GolfNow isn't the only answer. I know Paradise Golf out in Florida is a fantastic local small group. Mesquite Golf is another one. Golf Utah is one in our area. Golf Back is another one that Brown Golf Management is spinning up. There's a lot of these kind of microcosms that are coming out of the woodwork, and they offer more flexible plans. They will pass every single one of these, by the way, will give you all the customer information straight up. They're not trying to hide it. I have a few other things here. They don't require as much in trade, and oftentimes they bring just as much traffic as GolfNow would. And so explore what's in your area, explore what other people are looking at. And not only does it help support your own golf course looking for these, but it's also supporting the local ecosystem, trying to create kind of a microcosm outside of the GolfNow world. And this is the number one. I keep saying these are the biggest mistakes, but this is honestly a huge mistake. It's 80% of golfers, when we look at it, book through their phone. They're going online to your website, they're going online to GolfNow, to TeeOff, whatever, but 80% of golfers are on their phone. And if that experience isn't smooth, if it's not nice, what we find people doing is they just quickly pivot to something else. And so what you want is you want people to come to your site over any other experience, and that has to be really well built. And there's not really an excuse in today's age for not having an incredible mobile experience. We offer websites. There's lots of other companies that offer websites for small fees. There's even really cheap, inexpensive options out there like Squarespace or WordPress.com. You can even go straight through them if you're a little more technical, but they all offer really mobile-friendly experiences, and there's no reason to be on an outdated one. Those are the 7 mistakes that I've seen most often. Just to review real quick, I'm gonna come up here to the top. Number 1, lack of data collection. Number 2, replacing your online booking portal with a GolfNow or aggregate booking engine. That you should never do. Setting pricing restrictions on what is advertised outside. You should always have the cheapest price. Never sign a multi-year contract. Never take a careless trade agreement. Look for local distributors in your area. And make sure your website has a fantastic mobile experience, that people are attracted to your website to make those bookings. Those are the top mistakes I'd like to share with you guys. And I'd love to hear, are you guys committing these? What would you change? What would you add to this list? And